Welcome back to the Michigan Business Beat, brought to you on the Michigan Business Network. Chris Holman here, and we are coming to you from the Grand Hotel because we're here for the Detroit Regional Chamber of Commerce's annual policy conference. And I hesitate to keep it within those parameters because everybody you want to be with is here. And as a matter of fact, Ed, you're one of those people.
Thank you, Chris. I'm excited about being with you today.
Well, it's great to be here with you. And, we've had you on several years. You're on the notary board here, as a matter of fact.
Got a good picture.
Well, we'll get you an invoice on that. All right, so let's talk about what's happening at the bank.
Absolutely. Love to talk. There's so much we're talking about at the bank, but biggest focus for us is small business support, workforce development, and then workplace benefits. So employers are, working through a lot. They're working through minimum wage changes. They're working with employee benefits. They're working with talent, recruiting. They need debt. They need service. They need support, advice. You're right. So we're really leaning in heavily on that. As a matter of fact, Chris, we have about 6,000 small business clients. And when I define small business as less than 5 million in revenue. So mom and pop all the way up to the $5 million mark. And then we do about $3 billion in lending to the commercial kind of above 5 million, right? So we cover the gamut, and we divide up our team and our expertise based on the size of the business, because each of those businesses needs something a little different.
Yeah.
So that's a big focus of ours. Secondly, workforce development, right, is really trying to figure out where are the gaps where that's needed for talent in all of these companies. And what we found is the big three areas that we found is manufacturing, technology, and healthcare have the biggest gaps in workforce.
Yeah.
And then lastly, we're really focused in on employee benefits. So supporting each of the employees so they can retain their talent with, the best 401k plan, the best advice to save for retirement, all of that type of stuff, HSAs, healthcare funds, right? How to really make sure that we prop up each employee and the employer themselves.
Well, listen, one of the reasons I love having you on is people will have this image, I think, of a Bank of America too big to care about the small business. And we like to dispel that with you guys.
Absolutely. We care immensely.
Yeah.
As you know, 90% of the economy is small business owners. And so for us, that's a huge focus.
Yeah.
So we're doing a lot of great things with lending and advice and credit card machines and processing transactions and helping them plan out for the growth of their business. And then as they grow, we have different experts and different expertise that come in to help. In the workforce development space, I'll go back to healthcare. We know there's about 23,000 open positions in healthcare across the state of Michigan right now. So we're working really hard with partners, nonprofit partners, and other organizations like Henry Ford and Trinity and others to really build a path with community colleges and high schools to really set up a path for nurses and people in healthcare to help staff them. Because if we don't have a healthy economy and we don't have the jobs, right, you can't build a strong economy.
It's interesting. We do a semi-annual survey of 600 businesses, random, all around the state. And the biggest issue for the last 5.5 years, number one, has been talent. Now it's gone to, we're not hiring because of uncertainty and tariffs, et cetera. But we're still desperate for talent,
right?
Which is a message. We're not sometimes training for the right spots.
And you can't just turn that on and turn that off when you want, right? Yeah. So we got to make sure that we are partnering and helping fix the problems and setting up people. And excuse me, as well as I do, that these jobs are critical because they not only help the person, right, but that's how they build wealth. That's how they take care of their family. That's how they buy a home, right? And so we want to help people build their own wealth too and help their family out. And these jobs are high-paying jobs.
Yeah. So listen, you guys also hire a lot of people.
We do hire a lot.
So tell me about internships, because I've always found those to be incredibly valuable.
We have great summer internship programs. We actually hire student leaders as well. And so we'll put the student leaders and we'll deploy them in nonprofits and basically pay their salary from us, but they help out the nonprofit in the different spaces to help drive their education and their career growth opportunities. We're doing a lot of work in the schools as well around educating students around finance, and financial education.
This is huge.
Yeah.
We don't teach that in the
No,
schools.
and you have to be teaching,
Yeah.
right? That kind of stuff. We have a great program called Better Money Habits for the consumer client, for anyone that wants to learn about credit or, how to budget or things like that. And then we also have a separate platform that is very similar on the business side, where it helps small business owners with anything they need advice or services with as well. So we're really focused into being a part of the solution in Michigan.
Well, I'm giggling inside because of that financial education.
Yeah.
I don't know how it was in your household. The only thing we knew about money was that this was a short week.
That's right.
You
That's
know
right.
what I mean?
Unfortunately, I was in the same boat, and that's why we need to be educating people, because it's important that you have a job and that you have a budget and an idea, but it's so important that you understand how it all works and what does home ownership really mean, and the carrying cost of a home, and how do you save for retirement, and how do you help your kids, and all of that stuff. So we're really focused in on those.
Well, Ed Siaje, president of Bank of America, thanks for being here. Thanks for the good work you do, my friend.
Thank you, Chris.
I
It's always
appreciate
a pleasure to see you.
It is my pleasure. And we are coming to you from the Grand Hotel because we're here for the Detroit Regional Chamber of Commerce's annual policy conference. I'm Chris Holman, and you're watching the Michigan Business Beat on the Michigan Business Network.